Hello everyone, I am M. Madhulata, working as an assistant professor in MBA department, DNR College of PG courses, Bhimavaram. And in this video, I want to discuss about the topic market segmentation in the paper services marketing. So it is one of the important concepts we have to be know. So first we find out the meaning for the market segmentation. Market segmentation is the process of dividing a market of potential customers into groups or segments based on different characteristics. The segments created are composed of consumers who will respond similarly to marketing strategies and who share traits such as similar interests, needs, or locations. So generally market segmentation is process of dividing a market of potential customers into groups. So here we are going to dividing the customers into a groups or segments based on different characteristics. So who have a similar characteristics, those people we have to be considered as a segment. So for what purpose we are going to make a market segmentation means to give a customized services for the customers, because nowadays every customer wants separate attention for their needs and requirements. So when we can divide them as a groups or segments according to the similar characteristics, it is possible to satisfy them betterly. For that reason, marketers generally utilize this concept. The segments created are composed of consumers who will respond similarly to marketing strategies and who share traits such as similar interests, needs, or locations. So the people who have a similar interest, needs, or locations, according to that characteristics, they generally form these segments. So with these segments, it is easy to find out their needs and requirements, and it is possible to satisfy them in a better manner. And this is the meaning for the market segmentation. Now we discuss the definition for the market segmentation. So this definition was given by Philip Kotler. According to Philip Kotler, market segmentation is the subdividing of market into homogeneous subsections of customers, where any subsection may conceivably be selected as a market target to be reached with a distinct marketing mix. So here we are going to subdividing of market into homogeneous subsections. So we are going to grouping them and segmenting them according to their similar characteristics, and with that it is easy to find out the target, who are the target customers for our services, and according to that we plan about the all type of activities in the marketing, and we try to attract them and satisfy their needs and wants with our services. So we have to be apply the distinct marketing mix, and with this distinct marketing mix it is possible to satisfy the customers in a better manner. So this was the definition for the market segmentation. It was given by the Philip Kotler. Next we find out the requirements for effective segmentation. So what are the requirements we have to be considered, and for what purposes we are going to go for the segmentation, we understand in this particular concept. So there are many ways to segment a market, but not all segmentations are effective. For example, buyers of table salt could be divided into black and brown hair customers, but hair color obviously does not affect the purchase of salt. So this example will help you how can we do the segmentation. So when we want to know about the customers of salt, so we have to dividing those customers through the hair color. It is not related for the our products table salt. So when we want to apply the segmentation, so we have to be find out the who are the customers, how can we divide them. So when we have that clarity, then the segmentation will be happen in a successful manner, and that will be helpful for the to improve our business. Furthermore, if all salt buyers bought the same amount of salt each month, believed that all salt is the same and wanted to pay the same price, the company would not benefit from segmenting this market. So particularly for salt, there is no that much of need for segmentation. So every person utilize that, but the using way will be changes from one to another. So there is no benefit with the segmentation. So this was explained in this particular example. So when we want to segmenting the market, first we have to be find out the who are our target customers, what are the similar characteristics generally they have, and according to that we have to be make the segmentation. Next we find out the few requirements for effective segmentation. First requirement is measurable. The size, purchasing power and profiles of the segments can be measured. Certain segmentation variables are difficult to measure. For example, there are approximately 30.5 million left-handed people in the United States, which is nearly the entire population of Canada. At few products are targeted toward this left-handed segment. The major problem may be that the segment is hard to identify and measure. There are no data on the demographics of lefties, and the US Census Bureau does not keep track of left-handedness in its surveys. Private data companies keep reams of statistics on other demographic segments but not on left-handers. So the measurable requirement means we have to be find out the size, purchasing power and profiles of the segments. It means how many number of people are there in the market, what is the purchasing power of those people, and what are the profiles of those particular segments. So when we want to sell a diamond jewelry, so when we want to sell diamond jewelry, all the people are not able to purchase that product. So we have to be find out the who are the customers for that. So we find out the size, how many number of rich people in the market. So because of diamond jewelry will be purchased by the rich people only. So first we have to find out the size. Next, purchasing power, the people who have a purchasing power. So we have to be find out that, and profiles of the segment. So we have to be find out the profiles of those customers. Then we can easily find out who are the target customers for our product. So according to that we try to sell that product or service to the customer. So it was the first requirement. Next one, accessible. The market segments must be effectively reached and served. Suppose a fragrance company finds that heavy users of its brand are single men and women who stay out late and socialize a lot. Unless this group lives or shops at certain places and is exposed to certain media, its members will be difficult to reach. So whatever may be the segment we are selecting, it will be in an accessible manner. So we have to be reach them very easily and also contacting them very easily. Then it is possible to provide the services in a best manner. If it is not possible like that, then it is impossible to satisfy those customers, and also it is not possible to acquire the profits for the firm. So accessibility is also one of the requirement for the segmentation. Next one, substantial. The market segments are larger, profitable enough to serve. A segment should be the largest possible homogeneous group worth pursuing with a tailored marketing program. It would not pay, for example, for an automobile manufacturer to develop cars especially for people whose height is greater than 7 feet. So we have to be find out the profitable enough to sell. So at least when we are considering the segment, it has to be provide some profit for us. So we have to be consider the people we can reach to the more number of people. So generally when we manufacturing the car or driving seats or adjustments, we consider the height of the people who are in major number in same height. For example, 5 feet, 6 feet, like that. uh, 4 feet, 7 feet, these people are rare in cases. So uh, how they can manufacture to develop cars means they develop those cars for the people according to the similar more number of people who have a same height. So it is nothing but the substantial. So we find out the possible homogeneous group which is in a large manner. Next, differentiable. The segments are conceptually distinguishable and respond differently to different marketing mix elements and programs. If men and women respond similarly to marketing efforts for soft drinks, they do not constitute separate segments. So we have to be find out where we have to be differentiate, where we have to be take the distinguishable and respond differently to different marketing mix elements, where we have to be apply that. First we find out that, then we can apply that. For example, when we go for the garments, there is a difference for men and women, so because they respond differently for the dresses. In case of soft drinks, both the people has to be respond in a same manner. There is no that much of difference in between the men and the women. So according to the product or service, we have to be differentiate the customers, and according to that we have to be segment the market. And the last one, actionable. Effective programs can be designed for attracting and serving the segments. For example, although one small airline identified 7 market segments, its staff was too small to develop separate marketing programs for each segment. So, if it is possible in a practical manner, so then only we go for the segmentation. If it is not possible in a practical way, we have to be find out what is our strengths and weaknesses, and according to that we have to be apply for the segmentation. So segmentation will get the success through our actions or practical work. So for that, actionable is also one of the requirement for the market segmentation. So these are the requirements for the segmentation. Next one, steps in market segmentation. So there are so many steps. When we follow these steps, it is easy to segment properly. So with that segmentation, it is possible to satisfy the customers and also acquire the profits for the organization. So most of the uh, people follow these steps, and finally they go for the segmenting the market. First step is identify the target market. So first we have to be identify the who is our target market. When we go for the garments, so we find out the either our target is men or women. When we consider women, which age group people are suitable for us, either kids or teenagers or middle-aged women or old-age women, we have to be take some differentiation. And again we go for the financial position, working women or high class people or middle class people or low class people. According to our business and according to our product or service, we have to be find out the who is our target market. In this way we are going to segmenting the market. The first and foremost step is to identify the target market. The marketers must be very clear about who all should be included in a common segment. Make sure the individuals have something in common. A male and a female can't be included in one segment as they have different needs and expectations. So according to the needs and expectations, we have to be find out the who is our target market. So when we find out the target market, then we can easily applicable, it is possible to apply the suitable strategies according to the needs and requirements of that particular target market. So it is the first step. First we have to be identify the target market. Next one, identify expectations of target audience. So the second step is we have to be find out the what are the expectations of those people. So according to the expectations, then our work will we have to be planned. Once the target market is decided, it is essential to find out the needs of the target audience. The product must meet the expectations of the individuals. The marketer must interact with the target audience to know more about their interests and demands. So when we find out the target audience, then we have to be meet them and we interact with them and conduct some surveys, and through that surveys we acquire some information about the target audience. Then it is very clear what are the expectations of those people, and according to those interests and demands of those target audience, then we have to be work on that. So it is possible to satisfy those target audience. It is the second step. Next one, create subgroups. The organizations should ensure their target market is well defined. Create subgroups within groups for effective results. So we also create some subgroups in the target audience according to their requirements and demands. So when we can did these subgroups, it is very easy to satisfy them in different ways. So all the people are in the not in a same manner. Maybe their requirement or need or expectation will be changes. So when we can subgroup them, so we have to be allot the staff according to their requirements, and we have to be provide the services according to the expectations of those people. Next one, review the needs of the target audience. It is essential for the marketer to review the needs and preferences of individuals belonging to each segment and subsegment. The consumers of a particular segment must respond to similar fluctuations in the market and similar marketing strategies. So we have to be find out the what are the needs of those target audience, and we have to be review them. So which one practically applicable, which one are not impracticable అనేది we have to be find those things. So when we can differentiate that, then we can easily explain them to the target audience. It is practical one, it is impractical one, these will be possible, these will not possible. So then then there is a chance for us to explain them clearly about these things, and we try to attract them according to our work. Next, name your market segment. Give an appropriate name to each segment. It makes implementation of strategies easier. So we have to be name them in a separate way. Then according to the name, we can easily identify what are the requirements and needs of those particular subsegment. So according to the particular subgroup, we have to be provide the suitable services. Next one, marketing strategies. Devise relevant strategies to promote brands among each segment. Remember, you can't afford to have same strategies for all the segments. Make sure there is a connect between the product and the target audience. Advertisements promoting female toiletries cannot afford to have a male model, else the purpose gets nullified. So marketing strategies also, when we want to apply that, so we have to be take so many measures. So strategies also apply according to the selected segment. So for which strategy is suitable for which segment, according to that we have to be plan those strategies. Then only it will be works in the market. Next one, review the behavior. Review the behavior of the target audience frequently. It is not necessary individuals would have the same requirement all through the year. Demands vary, perceptions change, and interests differ. So always we review the behavior of the target customers or segments, because every time the requirements will be changes according to the changes in the market. So their new expectations will be arises, new needs will be arises. At the time of survey, they will give the one type of information. At the time of providing services, their needs and requirements will be changes. So always we have to be review the behavior, and according to that behavior we try to give the different types of services to the customers. Then only nowadays we can easily works in the market. So it is the another step in the market segmentation. And last one, size of the target market. It is essential to know the target market size. Collect necessary data for this. It helps in sales planning and forecasting. So when we know the what is the size of the target market, it means we chosen the teenagers of women we selected the female customers, and in female section also we only collected the teenagers. We want to target only teenagers, and among them we are considering the high class people. Then we find out the how much size is there. It means how many number of customers are existed in that particular target market. It means the that female, first one is that customer will be female, and that female is in the teenage age, and that teenage age female is in the high income level. So we find out the information relating these characteristics. Then we know how many number of people are existed in the market. According to that, we can plan about the sales in the market with the expectation. Then we can plan about the supply. So according to the demand, we have to be plan about the supply, so that supply will meet the demand in the market. So to do this work, generally the size of the market is also, target market is also one of the important steps. So these are the steps included in the market segmentation. So first one is identify the target market. Next one, identify expectations of target audience. Next, create subgroups, and then review the needs of the target audience, and then name your market segment and frame marketing strategies and review the behavior, and finally we find out the size of the target market. Then it is easy to provide the customized services to the customer and satisfy them properly. Next one, basis for market segmentation. So when we want to segment the market, we have to be consider these bases. So some of the major bases for market segmentation are as follows: geographic segmentation, demographic segmentation, psychographic segmentation, behavioristic segmentation, volume segmentation, product space segmentation, benefit segmentation. We are also call them as types of market segmentation or strategies for market segmentation. Now we discuss about these bases. First one, geographic segmentation. Geographic location is one of the simplest methods of segmenting in the market. People living in one region of the country have purchasing and consuming habit will differ from those living in other regions. For example, lifestyle products sell very well in metro cities, example Mumbai, Delhi, Kolkata and Chennai, but do not sell in small towns. Banking needs of people in rural areas differ from those of urban areas. Even within a city, a bank branch located in the northern part of the city may attract more clients than a branch located in eastern part of the city. So according to the geographic location also, the segmentation will be depends. So for that reason, first we have to be find out the geographic segmentation. Next, demographic segmentation. Demographic variables such as age, occupation, education, sex and income are commonly used for segmenting markets. So age means either they are teenagers or adults or retired. We have to be get the clarity about that. And gender means male and female. Always according to the product we have to be choose either the male or female, or sometimes there is no that much of concentrate on the gender. It means, for example, soft drinks, we need not to segment them according to the gender. Next, occupation. Agriculture, industry, trade, students, service sector, households, institutions. We know about that. So according to their occupation, their lifestyles or the way of living, all these will be changes, their requirements will be changes. Next, industrial sector, either large, small, tiny, in which industrial sector they are existed, what are their status, we have to be find that. Next, trade, wholesale, retail and exporters. Services, professionals and non-professionals. Institutions, educational, religious clubs. Agriculture and cottage industries. Income level, above 1 lakh rupee per annum, 50,000 to 1 lakh 25,000 to 50,000 per annum. That is higher, middle and lower class people. Next, family's life cycle. Young single, young married, no children, young married, youngest child under 6, young married, youngest child over 6, older married with children, older married, no children under 18, older single, etc. According to our family cycle also, the requirements or changes will be changes. Next, psychographic segmentation. Under this method, consumers are classified into market segments on the basis of their psychological makeup, that is personality, attitude and lifestyle. According to attitude towards life, people may be classified as traditionalists, achievers, etc. Rogers has identified 5 groups of consumer personalities according to the way they adopt new products. Those 5 types of people are innovators. These are cosmopolitan people who are eager to try new ideas. They are highly venturesome and willing to assume the risk of an occasional bad experience with a new product. Next, LD adopters. These are influential people with whom the average person checks out an innovation. Next, early majority. This group tends to deliberate before adopting a new product. Its members are important in legitimizing an innovation, but they are seldom leaders. Late majority. This group is cautious and adopts new ideas after an innovation has received public confidence. Laggards. These are past oriented people. They are suspicious of change and innovations. By the time they adopt a product, it may already have been replaced by a new one. Understanding of psychographic of consumers enables marketers to better select potential markets and match the product image with the type of consumer using it. For example, women making heavy use of bank credit cards are said to lead an active lifestyle and are concerned with their appearance. They tend to be liberated and are willing to try new things. Psychographic classification may, however, be an oversimplification of consumer personalities and purchase behavior. So many factors influence consumers that an early adopter of one product might well be a laggard for some other product and vice versa. Next one, behaviorist segmentation. In this method, consumers are classified into market segments, not the basis of their knowledge, attitude, and use of actual products or product attributes. Any of the following variables might be used for this purpose. Purchase occasion. Buyers may be differentiated on the basis of when they use a product or service. For example, air travelers might fly for business or vacation. Therefore, one airline might promote itself as a business flyer while another might target the tourists. Benefit sort. The major benefit sort in a product is used as the basis of classify consumers. High quality, low price, good taste, speed, sex appeal are examples of benefits. For example, some air travelers prefer economy class while others seek executive class. User status. Potential buyers may be classified as regular users, occasional users and non-users. Marketers can develop new products or new users of old products by targeting one or another of these groups. Volume segmentation. Consumers are classified light, medium and heavy users of a product. In some cases, 80% of the product may be sold to only 20% of the group. Marketers can decide product features and advertising strategies by finding common characteristics among heavy users. For example, airlines having frequent flyer and are using user rate as the basis of market segmentation. Generally, marketers are interested in the heavy user group, but marketers should pay attention to all the user groups because they represent different opportunities. The non-users may consist of 2 types of people, those who do not use the product and those who might use it. Some may change over time from a non-user to a user. Those who do not use due to ignorance may be provided extensive information. Repetitive advertising may be used to overcome inertia or psychological resistance. In this way, non-users can gradually be converted into users. Next, product space segmentation. Here, the buyers are asked to compare the existing brands according to their perceived similarity and in relation to their ideal brands. First, the analyst infers the latent attributes that consumers are using to perceive the brand. Then buyers are classified into groups, each having a distinct ideal brand in mind. The distinctive characteristics of each group are ascertained. Next, benefit segmentation. Consumer behavior depends more on the benefits sought in product or service than on demographic factors. Each market segment is identified by the major benefits it is seeking. Most buyers seek as many benefits as possible. However, the relative importance attached to individual benefits differs from one group to another. For example, some consumers of toothpaste give greater importance to freshness while others prefer taste or brightness of teeth. Research studies on benefit segmentation reveal that it is easier to take advantage of existing segments than to create new segments, as no brand can appeal to all consumers. A marketer who wants to cover the market fully must offer multiple brands. These are the basis for the market segmentation. And finally, we discuss about the benefits of segmentation. So, market segmentation offers the following potential benefits to a customer: better matching of customer needs, enhanced profits for business, better opportunities for growth, retain more customers, target marketing communications, gain share of the market segment. All these are the benefits for the market segmentation. Hope all of you understand this concept. Thank you for watching this video.